Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I'm glad many of you seem to like the last video I did where I played clips of the Sussex squad. They were a bit old. So I decided to go back to a most recent video here, only 10 hours old. And I thought I would just update you because tactics haven't changed and they're still doing the same thing. And by that, I mean they are using the line that the British media is after Harry and Meghan. So I want you to listen to this because this is one of the lead Sussex squatters. And he just lays out the entire, their strategy from day one. And the way they flip the script here is very interesting. I mean, this whole thing is a psyop. And basically, they're pretending that Harry and Meghan's Sunshine Sachs or whoever their PR firm is now, they pretend like, oh, they're not funding their own public relations articles and puff pieces every day. Instead, they seem to be trying to twist it and make it seem like, oh no, the British media just has nothing else to do and they're just going after them. And they say it leads back to Kensington Palace. It's all their fault doing this. So let's listen to some of this and you can react to it. But this is just recent. So here we go.
Lively. Sandy Sussex says, well, Melissa Nathan, who's been leading the smear campaign against Blake Lively, is sister with Sarah Nathan, who frequently writes fabricated smear pieces about Harry and Meghan. I'm betting Willie uses the same company for smearing Harry and Meghan.
So here we go.
Let me just mention in the comments.
Oops. Here we go. So already they're targeting a journalist. And again, this is the New York Post. It's American journalists now. It's not just British. And they're claiming that these journalists are smearing Meghan and that they're probably using the same company as Prince William. So they're connecting Prince William and blaming Prince William for any articles written by a New York Post writer who doesn't like Meghan. And of course, they blame anyone who criticizes Meghan and Harry. They must be working for Kensington Palace, Prince William, etc. This is the narrative being pushed by the Sussex squad here.
With Sarah Nathan, who frequently writes fabricated smear pieces about Harry and Meghan. I'm betting Willie uses the same company for smearing Harry and Meghan. I get the idea of being very sensitive about how Meghan is compared to other people, because that is a very touchy subject, because Meghan's name is thrown around far too often about things that have nothing to do with her. And this is not holding Meghan responsible. This is comparing the strategy that has been used by the tabloid media and all of the other unseen hands that seem to make everything about Meghan.
So here he's saying, right, all these people are just flinging Meghan's name around. And so again, pushing the conspiracy that Meghan and her PR have nothing to do with Meghan's name all over the media.
Meghan's name is thrown around far too often about things that have nothing to do with her. It's unfortunate that Meghan's name is thrown about like that, but if we don't explore this topic, we can never get to the root of it.
Getting to the root of it. So the Sussex Squad seems to feel it's their job to get to the root of the problem of all these people talking about Meghan.
Stopping it, or at least trying to put an end to it, slow it down, identify the culprits. That's only going to happen if you call people out. They need to be called out.
So this guy is, I believe, a Marxist, socialist, BLMer, and calling people out, cancel culture. That's what he's pushing here. Saying that, oh, no, you can't talk about Meghan. Or you must be working for Kensington Palace. We're going to call it out. We're going to platform you and flag you and et cetera.
Because Meghan has been vetted for, 6, 7, 8 years, like she's running for president of the United States. It makes no sense whatsoever.
So now he's making an argument here, completely fallacious, that people shouldn't even be talking about Meghan because she's not running for president. She's not running for office. So you shouldn't be allowed to talk to her about her. It's like, hello, public figure, paid for by the UK taxpayers as a royal family member. And we know that they're still a part of the royal family. They're on the royal family website. And many believe still working for King Charles. So he's trying to say, well, she's not running for president or something. So you can't be talking about her so much and having her name in your mouth, right? So this is why he's pushing on people that follow the Sussex Squad.
That someone who is not a public office holder, is not attempting to hold public office, has been vilified by the British tabloid media, and of course, all of these deranged people on social media.
The British tabloid media. Here we go. This is why the Sussex Squad, in my opinion, was created by Harry and Meghan and their PR. And then he's also bringing in those derangers. Anyone who opens a social media account and you don't kiss Harry and Meghan's ass, pardon my French, then you are a deranger, and they're gonna call you out, take you down, report you, etc. I mean, this is just a hit. They're a hit squad. But later on, we're going to get to it. He calls the journalists a hit squad.
And of course, as you know, we tend to believe that the genesis of this campaign started at Kensington Palace.
So again, fueling the paranoia of Harry that Kensington Palace is against him and that Prince William is attacking him. And the Sussex Squad repeat this all this lie over and over.
Seems like it started with Kensington Palace. It has been aided and abetted by the tabloid media, and it trickles down to social media. And of course, the social media and the tabloids.
So this is what they believe. They believe Kensington Palace is telling all the tabloids, journalists what to say and write, And then they believe that that the social media people, anyone who has a social media account, is just doing the bidding of Kensington Palace here. Right now, you could say it's trickling down. Well, of course, we're reading the media. But of course, only in their opinion, only the positive pieces are allowed to be written about them. Those are the only accurate ones, the ones that kiss Meghan's butt. But if you say anything critical, you're working for Kensington Palace.
Tabloid media, they seem to feed each other. They enable each other. They exchange ideas. There have been burner accounts that have been made. Okay, so this is the connection that Prince Harry pushes and that the Sussex have been pushing for years. They're saying that the social media accounts are working with the tabloids. They're in cahoots together, conspiring against Harry and Meghan. And this is why they took down, what's her name? It's years ago, a Twitter account. I think it was in 2021. I think it was Murky Meg. Because Murky Meg posted something and a journalist, I think it was Angela Levin, I'm not sure, but one of them just retweeted her tweet because it was a funny meme or something. Well, that was proof to Harry and the Sussex squad that she was working together with tabloid media, the social media, and they ripped down Murky Meg's Twitter account. She did nothing wrong. She didn't break any rules. They just ripped her down. So this is what the Sussex squad do, but they act like, see, they're all working together, so we have every right to do this. Identified. So those tactics that have been used against the Duchess of Sussex seems to have been deployed against Blake Lively. I don't even know Blake Lively. I don't know what else she's faced. That was when I first had talked some more about that later. But yeah, it is a connection, and there are people that act as though there's some type of journalistic hit squad that has been targeting certain.
Journalistic hit squad. And then he goes into saying, well, it's not just Meghan, it's also Oprah. Yeah, Serena Williams and her sister. We got racism going here with a journalistic hit squad. I see that he's insinuating here with this. Journalistic hit squad. This is one of the leaders of the Sussex squad hit squad, which, by the way, we all remember was introduced in the mainstream media on Good Morning America in 2019. Welcome to the army of strangers supporting Meghan Markle and attacking anyone who criticizes them. But they're claiming, no, the journalists are a hit squad. So you see how they're projecting, and this is how they gun up their followers to get them going and attacking.
As though there's some type of journalistic hit squad that has been targeting certain people, which includes Naomi Osaka and what is the girl's name? Gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting it. But is it Gabrielle? And of course, the Williams sisters, they have been targeted for years. And if you really want to go way back, I mean, let's talk about Princess Diana, Oprah Winfrey.
Princess Diana and Oprah Winfrey in the same sentence, no less. There it is. Princess Diana. It all goes back to Princess Diana. So the social media accounts and the journalistic hit squads, according to them, somehow being run by the Kensington Palace, and it goes all the way back to Princess Diana. And we all know what happened to Princess Diana, don't we? Because Prince Harry's not going to let you forget, and neither will their hit squad, the Sussex squad.
Diana, of course, there has been a campaign.
And for them to even insinuate that, same thing that happened to Princess Diana is happening to Oprah. I said, what? The twisted logic and insanity of these people, I just can't get over it.
Against her ever since, they decided they would try to,
in my opinion,
reform Camilla's public image. They would try to save her public image. And they still do.
Allegedly. Everything I say is allegedly. So now they also go back and blame Camilla, right? Because all this hit squad against all this attacks by the journalistic hit squad, according to him, against Princess Diana is all because they wanted to reform Camilla's image. So again, blaming Kensington Palace and Camilla, of course, and Charles.
Do it. And Diana's dead. So this is a very big topic. It is one that has made life unsafe for some people.
Oh, and look how he neatly ties that into why Meghan's unsafe, according to him. I mean, can you the mind-bending, illogical nonsense these people come up with? But they've been repeating for years now. So, the social media complaining about Meghan and Harry, well, they must be working with the journalists, and they're working with the journalists. We know that. So they're also working for Kensington Palace. Oh, and Kensington Palace did the same to Princess Diana, just like Oprah, and now she's dead, Princess Diana. Oh, and that's the reason why Harry and Meghan aren't safe. It makes sense, right? No. It's completely insane. This is what they're pushing, and their followers are buying it. And this just came out 10 days ago, and they've been doing this for years now. Here we go.
It has brought out the worst in others, and it just needs to be identified. It needs to be called out. It needs to be called out.
Yeah, the social justice warriors of BLM and the Marxist communists, you need to call it out and get them canceled and dox them and harass them, justifying their harassment this way.
And if it means connecting this person to that person, then so be it. Meghan has been gone for 4 years, and they still blame her for everything. Very true.
Meghan has been gone for 4 years, and they still blame her for everything. Very true.
I mean, so far we have not really pinned down the individual. However, there is an article from, 2021 that had accused the palace of buying bots. Had accused Kensington Palace of buying bots. I forget which magazine or newspaper.
So they're going to ignore the whole censorship complex and what all the bots that we all know. The Sussex Squad have 1 million bots. The Royal Grift covered this, the whole network of them, leading back to that Ian Sexton and Christopher Boozy with his bot sentinel. Christopher Boozy with Ian Sexton, a whole king of bots there, working with the Sussex Squad, and the Sussex Squad were interacting with them with Christopher Boozy. And yeah, he's going to sit here and not mention that the Sussex Squad used bots. Oh no, it was Kensington Palace only using bots. I mean, and I don't even think Kensington Palace did use bots. I think it was just the Sussex Squad, and there's proof of that. Again, another lie. But this is, again, the lies that they push the Sussex Squad, in my opinion, allegedly, that is, getting these people up to and try to justify their attacks on innocent people and their social media accounts, and the journalists as well, of course.
Paper wrote that article. Was it the New York Times? But they accused Kensington Palace, if I recall, of buying bots. And this is a very serious thing because it is designed to undermine the character of the targeted person. And as Harry said, it just takes one lone actor. And as Harry said, it just takes one lone actor. There are people who believe that.
As Harry said, it just takes one lone actor. Harry is so in danger. Harry. See, they're getting all this from Prince Harry. Harry and Meghan. This is the narrative they're feeding Sussex Squad, and Sussex Squad is regurgitating it to all these people on their Sussex Squad account. And this guy, by the way, has 61,000 subscribers here.
That the world would be a much better place if a person that they have identified as the villain was no longer here. We still haven't figured. So
he's saying, as Harry said, one lone figure to just forget that one person identified as the villain. So he's trying to claim that now him or Meghan's, even though Harry's the one that in his book bragged about killing all these Afghanis, but he's going to claim that this is blaming Kensington Palace and Camilla and the quote unquote journalistic hit squad, blaming them that they're going to be responsible if anything happens to Meghan, because obviously Meghan's life must be in such danger now, just like Princess Diana, according to Harry. So they're really feeding Harry's paranoia. Again, I don't know. I assume Harry is feeding and Meghan are feeding them these narratives. But I mean, it's obviously not going to help Harry's paranoia to be hearing this regurgitated by multiple YouTube accounts.
Figured out exactly why that woman flew all the way to New York and in 2019 decided that she would confront Meghan outside of a hotel in Manhattan. She was wearing a face mask.
So now suddenly, here it is, 2024, and he jumps back to an incident that happened in 2019. Like, what? I mean, this is so scripted. I'm sorry. You can't tell me he's just suddenly thinking these things. And I believe what he's referring to here is that woman that called Meghan a charlatan duchess. I got the video still on Twitter here. I believe this is the incident he's referring to. Just a woman calling her a charlatan duchess, and Meghan was wearing her fake belly bump that she forgot to wear.
Oh, ma'am, please. Sir.
Meghan Markle, the charlatan duchess, the common royal family.
Hey, Serena. What you got, Serena?
So that's it. That's the whole incident. It's a woman back in the crowd who happens to have a loud voice saying, charlatan duchess. That's it. Right. Well, apparently that's still bothering Harry and Meghan. Like the way this guy describes it, I believe that's the incident. That's the only incident I could possibly be talking about, because he's going back to 2019 when Meghan flew to New York. And I believe Crazy Days and Nights reported that she was doing a lot of coke and everything. And she forgot to wear a belly bump one night. And there's pictures of that. So it fueled that, conspiracy. Right here, the way he describes it here, the Sussex squatter, he describes it as, oh, she got in his face and everything. She was wearing a mask. Why was she wearing a mask? It's like, what are you talking about? You can't even see her. So here we go. Listen, this is his version of what happened and why he's bringing this up 6 years later, beyond me.
Ask. 2019. The global pandemic started in the spring of 2020. Why was that woman standing out there wearing a face mask? We haven't figured that out yet. And it seems as though she was lunging toward Meghan only to be confronted by one of the members of the security.
So if there's another incident that happened in 2019, that's the only one I could find. But I don't know of any incident or seen any videos of a woman in a mask lunging at Meghan in 2019. I believe either he's making this up or what. He doesn't have a video to prove it. There's no pictures. And I've been following this since 2018. There's been no incident like this that I know of. But if you know of any, let me know. Otherwise, I think this is just completely made up. But he's just taking that incident and he's creating a whole new story out of it and embellishing on it the lie.
There's nothing about this that should be taken lightly. And if it means drawing a connection from one actress to a former actress, then so be it. There's a school of thought that says, oh, just ignore this. Oh, don't read that. Oh, you shouldn't say anything. But if you don't push back, then it seems as though they get away with everything. They, of course, being the tabloid, the palace, and, of course, the derangers.
Oh, now, according to them, even though they've deplatformed many private citizens who just voicing their opinion, they've gotten journalists fired from their jobs, like Dan Wooten and others, and yet they're claiming that nothing happens to them. We need to keep pushing back, pushing harder.
If there was no pushback, and I'm not saying that I am the definitive person to do that, But if there was no pushback, if people like Joan Garcia didn't write letters to these people.
Who's Joan Garcia? Do you know? Let me know if you know who that is. I don't know what that's about.
Or whatever other official channels that they might take. Just imagine the morning television here in the United States being inundated with British tabloid reporters telling one side of the story. And they had gotten away with that for a long time.
Again, attacking the British media. This is the sole purpose of the Sussex Squad.
They'd gotten away with that for a long time. And there was nobody speaking up for the Sussexes, or at least they weren't speaking up loud enough.
That's an outright lie. The Sussex Squad have been around since 2019 or earlier, and they have been attacking people nonstop. And even most recently, how vicious they were towards Catherine while Catherine was ill with cancer and getting treated in surgery. And yet they turn around and say, oh, no, no one was pushing back. No, not at all.
But when I realized that there was a big difference this year compared to the past years was the Where is Kate Middleton? And of course, when Omid Scobie's book came out, when Harry's book came out, and you find out that there's a silent majority of people that realize that this whole campaign is about money, is about the mediocre royals, and of course, it's about race.
There it is, racism. It's all about racism. And Omid Scobie with his book. I mean, Omid Scobie, who falsely accused King Charles and Catherine of being racist, and then denied it later and tried to blame it on a transcriber, saying, oh, she just popped in those names. Omid Scobie, who lied and said that he didn't get direct information from Harry and Meghan to write his book of lies. This is what he's supporting here, of course. And he's trying to claim that, oh, the silent majority is on our side. No, I don't think so.
Race does really matter. Now, that might not necessarily be Blake Lively.
So, of course, pushing the racism card, the false allegations of racism against the royal family. And then, of course, Harry later in an interview denied it. He said, I never said that. I never said that. But, of course, that's exactly what they said on Oprah, among many lies that Meghan told. They never address all the lies Meghan told, of course. They're just the innocent victims here of the Kensington Palace and the British tabloid media working with all those people on social media.
Lively's problem. But it makes vilifying Meghan so much easier. And if you don't think that whole plain out lying about Barack Obama, he used.
Also in this video, he brings up racism, and then he supports Barack Obama and says that Barack Obama had the most threats against him because he's black. And of course, he's trying to align that with Meghan. So you see how he is aligning Meghan with a former president, Obama, of course, the socialist president, and who's done so much destruction to this country. But not according to him, of course, because he's a Marxist socialist here. So he supports Barack Obama and what he's doing, what he did. And he's trying to align that with Meghan and saying, see, Meghan's in danger, just like Barack Obama. So aligning Meghan Markle with a former president here. And that's no accident. Trying to compare them like they're the same.
And I'm only saying that because of all of the people who had ever worked with our Duchess. It seemed like she only became this raging maniac at Kensington Palace, right? That's where these stories start. They could not go back and find anyone who would complain. The only people who would say something disparaging.
That's not true. That her former publicist complained about her, many others that worked with her on Suits.
Television and lie about Meghan. But the people she's actually known and worked with, people who she actually has a photograph with.
So now he's addressing the bullying accusations and trying to claim that's all lies. Wow. They twist everything.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that will sit on television and lie about Meghan. But the people she's actually known and worked with, people who she actually has a photograph with, not so much. So, if that's the case,
except her former employees are all complaining about her and many other. So here he's going after Sarah Nathan, American journalist.
Sarah Nathan, of allegedly orchestrating the same against Lively. Sarah is editor at large for the New York Post. Page 6, the tabloid owned by New York Post, ran a headline, Blake Lively approved final. In other words, the usual suspects. Born in Britain, Sarah primarily covers Hollywood celebrities and the royals, from Prince Harry's memoir to covered them all recently. Page 6 feature editor. She has worked at the New York Post since May of 2018. Wow, that's interesting. That's when the Sussexes were married, May of 2018. And
oh, so since she started working in New York Post in May 2018, she must be a hire of Kensington Palace to attack Harry and Meghan.
Unfortunate. I love saying Princess Meghan because it gets under people's skin, and I love that.
So he admits, as the Sussex Waters admit, they love using Princess Meghan just to annoy people. And so he's giving away the game here. It's like, yeah, we're instigating you and lying.
Whenever I say Duchess Meghan, or should I say Princess Meghan, that is me being totally shady. Meghan, or should I say Princess Meghan, that is me being totally shady.
You see, they're admitting that they're being trolls. He's like, yeah, I'm trolling. So they never stopped attacking Catherine and whatnot, but it goes on. I'm just going to end it right there, just to, illustrate that they're still following the same paranoid narrative that Harry keeps pushing. They keep pushing it and keep lying and keep instigating, because Sussex Squad are nothing but trolls, in my opinion, and they admit to it, and they lie like a rug. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.